Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to the channel. Outfits Garage, if you're wondering. I'm sure you knew that by clicking on the channel. I made a post the other day on the community page stating that had some news I really wasn't wanting to give out, but circumstances has arisen, and well, I just started explaining my circumstances before I say what I'm going to say. My son's Matthew's personal car, the motor went down in it, and we're working on trying to get another motor for that. It's an '08 Chevy Impala, and I've located another motor, relatively inexpensive, and so it was a few days after that, something happened, like all of a sudden. My pickup has been running fine, my '05 Chevrolet. Y'all seen me go through the motor on that this last winter, and something happened. It's been running fine. It's been doing great. I hadn't had a problem with it. Once, I had a starter issue, but that was a blown fuse. But anyway, everything was going fine, and Matthew had went over to Justin's house one night, and anyway, he was on his way back, and something happened all of a sudden, and it instantly dropped oil pressure, and he didn't catch it quite fast enough. And anyway, the motor will still start and run, but it sounded like a thrashing machine. So I don't know if the pickup tube came off of the oil pump or what. I put a brand new oil pump on it, put a brand new green O-ring in there. Everybody said put a green O-ring in it. I don't know if something came loose in that or what. But anyway, my truck went down. That makes Matthew's car down. My truck went down. So the next day, we went in my wife's van. We were going to go over there and check the truck out. Matthew had told us something happened on the truck, and it was sitting where he told us where it was sitting at. Anyway, the next morning we went over there to try to find it, and we found it. We was going over there to find it, and the van goes down. Had an injector hang wide open on it, and it flooded the cylinder out, cylinder number 5. Anyway, I had the van towed. I had to call my brother-in-law and sister over to help us even get where we was needing to go. And I called a towing company, a local towing company here that I know. He come over and loaded it up and hauled it to Pellegrin's Automotive for me, and for Jonathan Pellegrin to look at it. And anyway, Jonathan said that it's we had an issue with it before, and the injector had stuck wide open before, and it had killed the injector. I put it that way. Anyway, he backtraced everything, and number 5 is the PCM, ECM, whatever, the computer is shooting random firing numbers to the injector, and with that, it's either shooting very low voltage or max voltage. And what happens is, when you hit it with max voltage long enough, it'll damage the injector. Anyway, so he dropped that bad news on me, and he can put an ECM in it, and put our VIN number in it and all our information but he said, I can't, he said, I don't know if it'll stick. So, because Dodge has that code that they have to go in and reflash. So, anyway, it's an '08 model Dodge Grand Caravan. So he said you might just want to call over at the dealership and see what they'd do it for. And Jonathan gave me his price, and I liked it better than the dealership. So dealership wants to re-diagnose it, and so that way they can charge me some more money. Of course, I understand why they're wanting to do it. They want to know for sure on what they're doing. That way they can stand behind their work. I understand that. But that'll be another $150 or $200 just to diagnose. And then if they can get the computer, it'll be somewhere around $2,000. So we're in a pickle on that deal. I mean, we've got to get it fixed. But so anyway, needless to say, we've been borrowing a ride from my mom, and that's the only vehicle we've got that's running and driving. You say, well, what about the Ford truck, the dually? Well, it runs and it'll drive, but the old tires that were on it, I had put good tires on the front, and I had put a good tire on the rear when one of them had come apart, because the tires were probably 15 years old and they're dry rotted, and the more you drive it, the more they start trying to break and tear up. So that was my only option to go get the truck. So I hooked on to the trailer, and we went over and picked up the pickup, because we had a winch in the trailer, and we loaded it up in our enclosed trailer, brought it to the house. But on the way back, I had a tire starting to go down on it, because one of the old dry rotted tires on the back was starting to deflate. And needless to say, there for a while, for a minute, still, we're basically between 4 or 5 people. Thomas has to go back and forth to work. My nephew, he lives with us. Matthew has to get back and forth to work. I've got a company truck, county truck, that I can drive back and forth to work. Kim has to get back and forth to work, and with all of that, my mom has to have a vehicle to go do the things that she needs to do. So we wound up getting a fuel pump, because we tried to weigh our options and figure out what to do. So we put a fuel pump in Mom's old car, the little white Hyundai Sonata that's been sitting in the yard. The fuel pump had went bad in it, and we just been busy and doing other things and never had just got around to fix it. But I knew a fuel pump would fix it, so I got a new fuel pump and passed out with that. But just the pump itself, not the whole piece that drops in the tank. The whole piece that drops in the tank's over $350. But just the little fuel pump that's about that long, about that big around, is $165. So they've pretty much got you pretty good whenever it comes to fuel pumps. But we got the good one, the Delphi, and we got it in there, got it fired up. It's running and driving. We're gonna get it tagged up today, today or tomorrow. Well, I don't know. My mind's still in a spin, but so that we'll have some wheels, and Mom can have her wheels back, and her vehicle's got wheel bearings going out on it. So we've been kind of limiting our trips or running with it to just a bare minimum. So we've got to put 4 wheel bearings in it, because it sounds like a grinding machine going down the road. So needless to say, with all that being said, the Outfit Blues probably is not going to make it to the No Name Nationals. With everything it hit, my repair bills is after I go through the other 5.3 engine that I pulled out of my pickup, after I get a set of tires for the back of my dually, which it can set, but that would be the faster repair than the repair on my engine in my truck, and plus the engine for Matthew's car were and then the repairs on the van, we're probably looking at around $5,000. So, and that's money that we just don't have. I mean, we're working day to day to make a living, and the YouTube channel is, I don't have enough watch hours to even get monetized. I've got plenty of subscribers, and I thank each and every one of you for that, but we don't have enough watch hours. I think I've got almost 800 watch hours. I had over 1,000, and it's just been steadily dropping. That tells me that a lot of people likes my channel. A lot of people likes my shorts and stuff that I put on, because I get lots of subscribers that way. But I'm just not been able to put up videos that can have watch hour quality videos for people to watch and to have watch hours to be able to get monetized. And I heard that it's just pennies on the minute, so or pennies on the hour, whatever it is. So it wouldn't be a whole lot there. But anyway, I'm not complaining at all, or not griping at all. But I'm just in a spot, so it'll take me a minute to work out of it. But I've already paid my entry fee for the No Name Nationals, and I've got 3 gate passes for the 2 days there. I had a hotel reserved, and I think I told Kim the other day to go ahead and cancel that, because we need the money to fix our vehicles. So, but there is a bright side to some things. I had Doug. I have a subscriber that watches that works with Doug, and everybody should know Doug. He's our buddy that helps us on the channel on the race cars and whatnot. But a guy that works with him contacted him and said that he had a set of tires that I could get, and for doing some trading out for some labor on his truck. So we may try to get some content on that. Some tires that he pulled off the back. He's got a Chevrolet dually, pretty cool little truck, little Chevy flatbed with an LS motor he put in it, and he pulled the tires off the back and put him some pretty good mud grips for the back. So anyway, we look like we may be going to do some swapping there, and I'll have a set of tires I can put on the back of my truck. Those tires, to buy a set, I priced them the other day, was going to be almost $700. So that was another reason why I've kind of been held in limbo. The used tire market on that size is bare slim pickings. It's about like getting a needle out of a haystack or finding a hen's tooth. So, but anyhow, that's my problem. That's where I'm at. So, anyway, we had ordered a windshield for the Outfit Blues, the 75 C10. Doug said he was going to run by and take care of that. Our buddy Ed over at Charlie's Paint and Body, he ordered that for us, and he said get it over to him sometime. He'd put it in for us. So we really appreciate him. He's a big help to us. We've known him for years. He's one of our old racing buddies. Anyway, anyway, it's not trying to be a sad story or play a violin for a little bit, but it's just letting you know what's going on. We may still be able to make it to the No Name Nationals. I mean, we really had a blast up there last year, but it just circumstances has hit to where the 75 C10 has to take a back seat. I've got to get these other vehicles up and running first because they're priority. And anybody that knows you just got to have vehicles to be able to get back and forth. And so anyway, that's where we're at. And just letting you know, I'm not complaining. I'm not griping. Jesus is still Lord, and he's my Savior, and I'm thanking the Lord every day. And for whatever reason, all this happened, within just about a week or a week and a half of each other. And so that's where we're at on that. And we're just going to slowly get stuff fixed back. And I'm sure I'm going to try to put some content out and try to keep things rolling, but it may just be on some different objects. And so I'm confused on why the oil pressure just instantly dropped. Something I've heard that the pickup tubes on those LS motors sometimes would work loose or something, and that might have had, I don't know. It's just odd because I'd put a brand new Melling oil pump on it, and that was expensive. But I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. This is Russell with Outfits Garage saying, God bless you. And Outfits Garage is saying, keep a hammering.